A federal court in Louisiana heard arguments this week in a case that could have major implications for how chemical abortions are regulated in the state and possibly nationwide. Louisiana's Attorney General filed a lawsuit against the Food and Drug Administration. The suit challenges a federal rule put in place during the Biden administration that removed the requirement for abortion drugs to be given out in person by a doctor. Attorney General Liz Murrill is asking the court to bring back the in-person requirement. She filed the suit in tandem with an abortion coercion survivor. The lawsuit highlights several concerns. It notes that more than 6 in 10 abortions are now carried out using abortion drugs, and the removal of safety guardrails exposes women to potential harm. It also is leading to dangers from predators and abusive partners who can easily access abortion drugs in the mail with the intent of poisoning the mother and killing the child. A pro-life group of physicians is also speaking out. The American Association of Pro-Life Obstetricians and Gynecologists, also known as AAPLOG, says in a statement, quote, "We urge the court to hold the FDA accountable and restore the safeguards that once protected women from preventable harm." For more, we turn to Dr. Susan Bane, Vice Chair of AAPLOG. Dr. Bane, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
In addition to your work with AAPLOG, you're also the medical director of 4 pro-life pregnancy centers in North Carolina. What are you seeing on the ground with this increased access to the abortion pill and its harms?
Yeah, as the medical director of 4 pregnancy centers, all our patients have unplanned pregnancies, and they are coming scared, alone, and many times being coerced from people that are in their lives that they trust. And the stories they tell about related to their experience with taking abortion drugs, which you stated correctly, over 60% now of abortions occur in using abortion drugs, where women are in their dorms, their apartments, their homes, and they're experiencing this trauma with no ongoing medical care. And it is substandard care. And this case is really about restoring a basic safeguard. In-person dispensing, where women can get an informed consent, where they can get an ultrasound. We know that is critically important to determine whether a woman has an ectopic pregnancy, to see how far along she is, and to just be empowered with information, because she's getting ready to make a decision of massive consequence for her life.
And now, Dr. Bane, the co-plaintiff in the case is a woman who survived abortion coercion. Can you tell us about this and some examples of women being given the abortion pill without their knowledge?
Yeah, sadly, the woman in this case, Rosalie Markovich, she is truly an abortion coercion survivor. She, like many women across this country, and stories that I've heard and actually had to treat, was forced to take this. Can you imagine being forced to take a drug that you know is going to end the life of your very own child? I actually had this year a patient who called the abortion pill reversal hotline. She had met a man, had a short relationship. He had actually been deployed. He accessed abortion drugs online himself, sent them to her, and told her she had to take them. She took the first one, mifepristone, and she fortunately was able to call us, and we were able to get progesterone back into her system, which blocks the mifepristone, competes with it, and she remained pregnant. And so this is sadly all too common across our country.
Now, we mentioned earlier that the FDA made it easier to obtain abortion pills under the Biden administration. How is the Trump administration responding to this lawsuit and to the overall pro-life concerns on the abortion drug?
At AAPLOG, we support policies that protect both our patients. OBGYNs care for a mom and a baby, and they both deserve excellent health care. When mifepristone was first approved in 2000 by the FDA as part of the abortion drug regimen, because it is a dangerous high-risk drug, there were safeguards put in place. And one that was removed during the Biden administration in 2023 was actually this in-person dispensing. And this is so important, and particularly because through telehealth or abortion pills being ordered online where you have no ongoing medical care, you cannot get an ultrasound. And an ultrasound is essential. It's contraindicated to take abortion drugs if you have a tubal or ectopic pregnancy, a pregnancy that's outside the uterus. They don't treat that. And that's the #1 cause of death in the first trimester for women, ectopic pregnancies. So when you think of about 1 in 50 women in our country have ectopic pregnancies and taking the abortion drug without it. So AAPLOG supports any policy that the Trump administration would put forward that protects the lives of both our patients. And particularly if women are going to choose to have an abortion, they need to be safe. We know one of our patients dies during abortion. We don't want both our patients to die.
And Dr. Susan, quickly, what comes next in the case in Louisiana, and what are the wider implications for the pro-life movement?
You know, I think as I sit here as a doctor, I don't know from a legal standpoint what comes next, but for the pro-life movement, we truly, if you think of the purpose of medicine is health and healing, and OBGYNs take care of 2 patients, as I said, a mom and a baby, then the direct and intentional killing of one of our patients, an innocent human being, is not health care. And I think what has happened over time is, in a very calculated way, the concept of abortion as healthcare has infiltrated into medicine. And AAPLOG is really in the forefront as the medical voice of the pro-life movement, saying, no, that narrative is wrong. If healthcare is truly designed for all our patients, then we have to see that preborn child as our neighbor, as our patient, and provide that same care.
Well, Dr. Susan, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for the wonderful care you provide to both woman and child.
You're welcome.